Hi everyone, it is Alex with Holistic Movement Pilates. Today I have an upper body workout for you. We are going to use no props at all for this upper body series. We're going to go a little heavier. I'm going to go a little heavier for my starting series just to make my arms work a little more. So I'm going to go one heavy, one medium spring. Usually I would have one heavy, one light spring on my reformer, but again, I want to work my arms a little more today. So I'm going to do one heavy, one medium spring. You can do that, or you can go lighter, foot bars all the way down, and then we're gonna lie ourselves down. And then once we get down onto our reformers, we can go ahead, find our neutral spines, and then let's grab our straps into our hands, please. So short loops are gonna go into our hands. If this is too heavy with these springs, you can always do the long loops instead of the short. Our arms are gonna go straight up to the ceiling. Hands are gonna be right up our shoulders, and then knees are gonna go right up into a tabletop position. We have our legs zipped together. On an exhale, we're gonna pull our arms straight down to the mat for our reach and pull, and then we're gonna inhale to return the arms back up with control. Again, I'm exhaling to pull my arms straight down, and then I'm inhaling to return back up, feeling my lats engaging as I pull down. Think my core is firing up as well. Again, it's an exhale to pull straight down, and then an inhale when we return the arms back up. Again, if you did choose to go a little heavier with springs and this is too heavy, you can always change to the longer loops. Exhale down, inhale up, thinking our core is firing on every single exhale. Let's go ahead and do 3 more. Okay, now this next time we press our arms down, let's hold them in our hips. We're gonna inhale, open our arms out to a T, and then on my exhale, I'm pressing my palms back down to my hips. Inhale out to a T, and then exhaling again as we press the palms back to the hips, feeling our lats and our biceps engage. Again, on every single exhale, think our core is firing up. So those abdominals draw in towards our back on the exhales. All right, let's go ahead and do 2. And then last one. Now we're gonna hold our arms here. Keep your palms rotated towards your body. When we bend the elbows, again, palms are gonna be rotated towards your body, towards each other. And then we're gonna press our palms back down to the mat. So I'm gonna inhale, bend my elbows, and then exhale, press my palms down. My palms stay rotated towards me the entire time for this tricep press. We should feel our biceps working a little more with that little rotation of the palms towards you. Exhaling as we press the palms down, and then again, inhaling as we bend the elbows. Exhale to press, and inhale, bend. And drawing the abs in and up on our exhales. Okay, I'm gonna go for 2. Now in this last one, we're gonna hold our arms at our hips, palms rotate towards the floor, bend our elbows, and then we're gonna press our palms back down. Again, now palms are rotated towards the floor or towards the foot bar. When we bend and press, we can have long fingers, we can have a fist. It is up to you. I'm feeling that heavier spring now. Let's do 3 more. All right, now the next time we press our arms down, let's hold them at our hips. Last thing that we're gonna do here for our warm-up, we open our arms out to a T, we reach them up to the ceiling, we pull them down to our hips for our circle. So we go out to the sides, up to the ceiling again, we pull our arms all the way back down towards our hips for our circles. Down, around, and up. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more in that direction. Now, once I come back up towards the ceiling, I'm gonna pause, and then we're gonna reverse. So let's open our arms out to a T, press our palms to our hips, and then reach them back up. So we go out to a T, exhale as we press to the hips, and then inhaling again as we reach back up. Again, feeling our lats and our biceps engaging as we press the palms to the hips. Scooping into the core. last one. Then once we come back up, I'm gonna relax my feet down. Can give ourselves a little bit of a stretch. We are going to hang our straps back up onto the pegs. And then once we hang our straps up, let's sit off to the sides of our reformers. Okay, now once we sit off to the sides, we are going to go a little lighter with spring. So we're gonna go one heavy and then one light spring. Now, when we do this heavy light spring, if it's too heavy for you, I would suggest just doing one heavy spring. Again, we're staying with arms. We're gonna kneel on our reformers. Feet can be up against our shoulder blocks. Our butts are going to stay back towards our heels for this series. So if your knees are an issue and you can't kneel like this, I would just suggest sitting on your butts rather than sitting on your knees like this, because again, we will be kneeling with our booties back for most of the series. So I'm gonna reach behind me, grab my straps into my hands. Now again, I have one heavy, one light spring on. If it's too heavy, go to just one single heavy spring. You can use your long loops, which are going to be lighter, or your short loops, which are going to be heavier for your arms. So it is up to you. Again, our butts are going to stay back towards our heels to start. And then I'm going to bring my arms into just like goalpost arms. So they're going to be bent at a 90 and then right in line with like my ears. On an exhale, I'm going to bring my palms towards each other. My hands, my arms are staying shoulder distance away. Palms should be rotated towards each other. And then I'm going to inhale and let my arms open back out to those goalpost arms. So I'm going to exhale, bring my palms together, and then inhale, open. Now, every time the arms come together, again, we are going to just have them go shoulder distance away. I'm actually going to sit on my butt here rather than having my toes curled. Exhale together, and then inhale again, opening back out. Make sure those arms don't go too far away from the body. So again, I'm just going like out to the sides of my head and then back that shoulder distance away. We're gonna go for 2 more. And then last one. Exhale together, inhale, open. Okay, now this time the straps are on our palms. We're gonna switch it. So now the thumb goes under and your fingers are more on the top. It's still on your palm, but we're flipped the other way. So thumb under, fingers over. Again, thumb under, fingers over. Now, once we go thumb under, fingers only over, this is why we're sitting like this. We're gonna hinge slightly forward. Abs are in towards our back. We're in a flat back position. We're still bent at that 90-degree angle with our arms, but our arms are angled slightly down now. I'm gonna exhale, reach my arms forward. When I reach forward, they're right in line with my head and my palms are facing the floor. My hands again are shoulder distance away. And then I bend back to those goalpost arms. So I exhale, I reach my arms forward, shoulder distance apart, bend back at that 90. Again, every time we reach out, our hands only go shoulder distance away. They don't come together. Exhale, reach forward, inhale back at that 90. Feel those deltoids, feel those traps really working here. Again, flat back, abs are in. Exhale forward, inhale, bend wide. Again, if you need to make these lighter, you can always go to a lighter spring. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Okay, relax the arms. Now grab your straps like you would usually do. So thumbs can be over, fingers can be under. And then from here, we are going to sit our booties just slightly up onto our knees. And then again, I'm just gonna hinge slightly forward. Palms are rotated towards the foot bar. I'm gonna sink my booty just ever so slightly back towards my heels. Okay, we're gonna do a bicep curl. So we're gonna curl in for a bicep curl, and then we're gonna extend, we're gonna curl and extend. And I'm gonna change my loops here. I'm gonna go short loops for these. Exhale, curl, inhale, extend. Now when I'm doing these bicep curls, again, I'm keeping that little hinge forward. I'm keeping my elbows in towards my rib cage here. Curl and extend, curl, extend, scoop into your core. Again, keep those elbows right into your sides. Let's do 4, 3, and 1. Okay, now we're gonna sit our butt back down towards our heels. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to my long loops again, just because this one is gonna be a little more challenging. I'm gonna keep my palms rotated to the foot bar, but I'm gonna extend my arms long. So elbows are gonna be pinned into our sides. I'm gonna hinge slightly forward again, but again, I'm sitting back towards my heels this time. I'm gonna curl in for a bicep curl hold. I'm gonna reach my arms out away from me. I'm gonna bend my elbows back into my ribs, and then I'm extending my arms. So we do a bicep curl, we reach the arms forward, we bring them back into our ribs, we extend the arms. Keep going. Bicep curl, reach, bend, and extend. And if you want to exhale all the way out, you can exhale, curl, and reach. Inhale, bend, and extend. Exhale, curl, reach. Inhale, bend, extend. Again, springs, if you need to make them lighter, heavier, you can. Long loops are lighter, short loops are heavier for all arm series. We're gonna do 3 more. 2, and then last one, and back. Okay, I'm gonna take both my straps into my, what is this? Right hand. I'm gonna rotate towards the right side of the room, and then I'm just gonna face my straps this time. Okay, when we face our straps, I'm gonna have my toes dangling off the edge of the carriage. If you go a little further forward, it is gonna be lighter. So if you need to scoot your knees a little further forward, you can. Again, we're gonna sit back on our heels to start. Now, same thing as before. If this is too much on your knees, you can just go ahead and sit on your butts, or you can kneel just nice and tall like this. So if you can't kneel towards your heels, sit tall or sit on your booties. Long loops again are lighter, short loops are heavier. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna start tall on my knees, and then I will actually end up sinking back towards my heels, just get a little more work in my glutes. So we can all start sitting up nice and tall just like me. Arms are long, palms are facing back. Find stability in your legs, glutes, and core, because you are going to feel like you're gonna fall forward. We are exhaling to press our palms back. Again, stabilize legs, glutes, core, and then return your arms back forward. Exhale to press. Inhale, return. You know what? I can do short loops. Exhale, press. Inhale, return. Getting right back into those postural muscles or those posterior muscles. Exhale, and then inhale, back side of the body. Again, legs, glutes, core working here to help stabilize you. Press, return. Okay, now from here, I'm gonna keep the same shape in my spine, but I'm gonna sink my booty back towards my heels a little bit. Abs are in, and then I'm gonna keep pressing back and returning. So just working my legs a little more now, getting into those quads. Again, if you don't wanna do this, you can just stay kneeling nice and tall. This is just gonna work those quads a little more. Exhale, press. Inhale, return. Scoop into your core. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Okay, then once we return, we're gonna pause, and then we can kneel just nice and tall. Again, I'm gonna stay with my shoulder loops just to make this a little heavier. Arms are long, palms are facing the floor. On an exhale, we're gonna bend our elbows wide. We're gonna lift our hands so that they're right around in line with our armpits. And then we're gonna extend our arms back out. So we're gonna exhale, pull back, inhale, extend. If you want this heavier, you can always choke up a little more onto your straps. Exhale, pull. Again, pinching the shoulder blades together, inhale, extend. Now, I'm gonna do that little hinge back so I can work my quads a little more. So I'm gonna keep the same shape in my spine. I'm gonna bend my knees, sink my booty back, and I'm gonna pull and extend here. And I'm actually gonna grip up higher onto my straps just to get a little more work in those shoulders. Abs are in. Exhale, pull, inhale, extend. Hold, pinch, and extend. Okay, let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, once we extend the arms, we can kneel nice and tall again. Grab your straps if you choked up. We're gonna flip our palms up to the ceiling. We're going back into bicep curls. It's an exhale to curl. Inhale, extend, curl, ooh, extend. Again, if you want to choke up a little more on the straps, you can. I'm going to go back into that little hinge with my hips. So I'm going to hinge, sink my booty back just a little bit, and then I'm going to curl, extend. Again, I'm just working into my quads a little more with this hinge, scooping into my core. Okay, let's go for 5, 3, and 1. Okay, now once I extend, I'm gonna go ahead and hang up my right strap. I'm gonna keep my left loop. I am gonna take it into my right hand though, and then I'm gonna rotate towards the left side of the room. Now when I rotate, it's up to you if you have your right leg against the shoulder blocks. If you scoot closer to your shoulder blocks, it is gonna be a little lighter. If you scoot further away, it's gonna be a little heavier. And then I would go knees just a tiny bit wider than your hips. Not super wide, just a little wider than your hips. We have our strap. We're gonna take off the light spring, so we're just on one heavy. As always, if this is still too heavy, you can do a medium spring instead of that. Now, I'm gonna use my long loop for this one. Long loop's always lighter, again, for arm, short loop's heavier. I'm gonna take my left hand to my hip. I'm gonna bend my right elbow. So my fist and my elbow are just out in front of me. And then we are going to punch the right arm up to the ceiling, and we're gonna bend to come back in. So we're gonna punch it straight up and then back in, stabilizing here from your core. We're trying to keep our chest in the same spot the entire time. Just punching that arm up on an exhale and then inhaling as we bend and we come back in. Let's go for 3, 2, ooh, and 1. Now once we come back, keep that elbow here. Reach your left arm out away from you. We're gonna punch and rotate to the left side of the room. We're gonna bend to come back in. Punch, rotate, bend to go center. Exhale, and then inhale. Now it's up to you if you have long fingers with your right hand or if you have a fist. We're trying to get the rotation, as always, coming from our rib cage and not so much our hips. So try to keep your hips parallel to the wall in front of you. Rotate from that rib cage. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now once we come back, we're gonna change hands. I'm gonna grab the rope into the strap into my left hand, and then we're actually gonna take our hands right out in front of us and we're gonna scoot our knees back so we're more in a 4-point kneeling position. Again, long loop light, short loop is heavy. We're gonna thread the needle with our left arm. So we're gonna take my left arm underneath my body. My palm is gonna be rotated up. And then I'm going to allow myself to just rotate my chest slightly to the right side of the room. Then when I bend my left elbow, I rotate my chest to the floor. I extend my left arm to the left side and I rotate slightly to the left. And then I bend the elbow, my shoulders are parallel to the floor. When I extend underneath, my shoulders rotate slightly to the right. And then same thing, we're gonna pull, rotate, and extend, bend, and then extend back to the right. So we're just alternating right and left. When we extend out to the left, the palm should be rotated to the floor. When the arm goes under to the right, the palm should be rotated to the ceiling. Again, long loop or short loop, that's up to you. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Okay, then we're gonna hang that strap up and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna rotate to the other side. Again, you can have your left leg up against the shoulder blocks or not. We're gonna grab the strap into our left hand, long loop light, short loop heavy. I'm just gonna take my right hand to my hip. Left elbow's gonna be bent, ready. We're gonna punch up to the ceiling and then we're bending, we're punching up and bending. Again, using our core to stabilize us so that our chest stays in the same spot. We're not leaning side to side. Exhale, punch, inhale back. Lots of deltoids for this series. We're gonna do 2 And last one, punch up and bend. Okay, keep that bend to the elbow. Extend your right arm out. Ready? We're gonna punch, rotate to the right side, and then we're gonna inhale, go back center, punch, rotate right, inhale, center. Again, up to you if you have a fist or long fingers with your left arm, trying to rotate from the rib cage. Ooh, my bicep is really feeling this one here. All right, let's do 3, 2, and 1. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead, take my hands. I'm gonna grab the strap into my right hand now. Hands go out in front of us, and we're gonna scoot our knees back. Thread the needle. Ready? Reach your right arm underneath you. The palm should be flipped up to the ceiling here. We are going to pull, rotate our chest towards the floor. Then when we extend that right arm, we rotate slightly to the left, right, and then we rotate left. Palm should be flipped up. So when we pull, rotate to the right, palm should be rotating to the floor. When we get pulled back to the left, the palm should be facing the ceiling. Again, I'm letting my shoulders rotate ever so slightly. Right, center, left, center. Let's do 3, 2, and last one. And back. Okay, go ahead, hang that strap back up onto the peg, rotate back towards the foot bars, and then once we rotate towards foot bars, staying on our knees. Feet are gonna go up against the shoulder blocks, and then actually, let's go knees just like an inch away from the edge of the carriage, so knees are not up against the shoulder blocks. My hands are on the foot bar, and then thumbs are, as always, with our fingers. Now, we're gonna push the carriage out with our knees. We are still on this heavy spring, and I'm gonna push slightly out with my arm so my chest is no longer over the foot bar. Now, if this is too heavy, you can always lighten up your springs, hold this kneeling plank. We're doing push-ups, trying to keep our carriage from moving. I'm gonna bend wide, press, bend wide, press. Again, I want my carriage to stay still. My knees stay back. 4 more, wide, press. They can be big or small. The range of motion is up to you. This is the last one. When I come in, I'm gonna let my knees come all the way back in, and then I can just sink back into like a little child's pose here. Hold that stretch. Okay, then back onto hands and knees. Our hands now go about shoulder distance away from each other this time. Thumbs are with our fingers. I'm gonna shift, again, my carriage out with my knees. So knees go back into that kneeling plank. My chest is not over the foot bar. My arms are pushing me slightly out. We're gonna go into narrow push-up. So I go narrow, press, narrow, press. Try to keep your carriages still. Elbows go into your ribs and press. Elbows into the ribs. Press. We have 4. I hate narrow push-ups. 3. Big or small range of motion is up to you. Last one. Ugh. Okay. Bring those carriages in. Sink your booty back. Let your chest drop down and hold this stretch. Okay, go ahead, keep your left hand where it's at. Reach your right arm underneath you. Thread the needle. Palm should be flipped up to the ceiling. We take our right shoulder down. We're rotated slightly to the left. We hold that stretch. Okay, then we switch, right hand on, reach the left arm under. Again, the palm should be flipped up. I'm trying to get my shoulder down onto the carriage. I'm breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, unthread that arm. One more round of push-ups. We are going to stay on this heavy spring. We're gonna rotate back towards our straps and straddle our reformers. Now, for my people who are shorties, and this is too high up for you, reminder, you're gonna stand to the foot bar with your hands on the two front corners of the carriage, and you can do your push-ups there. If you have a reformer that's higher off the floor, stand onto the floor in front of your foot bars and do your push-ups there. If you have a reformer like mine or one even lower, you should be fine here. So once we sit, if we scoot our booties further forward or closer to the straps, this is heavier. If you walk your feet back towards your foot bars, it is gonna be a little heavier. Now, if you are standing on the floor and you wanna make this a little heavier, feel free to add on a light spring with that because you are technically lighter when you're back there. Hands are gonna go onto the shoulder blocks. We're gonna lift our butts up and we're gonna hold here. Now, I'm gonna push the carriage out one time and I'm trying to get my chest parallel to the floor. Abs are in. Wide push-ups again, we bend wide, we exhale, we press, we bend wide, we exhale, we press. My abs are in, eyes are looking to the floor. Again, your chest stays parallel. If you want it heavier, you can walk further forward, lighter, walk back. Let's go 3, 2, 1. All right, now we bring our elbows into our ribs. We have narrow push-ups to finish off. We push out, then narrow, we press out. Narrow again, abs are in. Eyes are looking to the floor. I want those elbows to touch your ribs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, bring it all the way back in. Take your knees just right up against the shoulder blocks. Hands are gonna crawl out to the frame of the reformer and we're just gonna drop our chest down. I want you to keep your butts up here so that you can get deeper into your chest. So walk your hands out as far as you can go. Keep your booties lifted and drop your chest as low to the floor as you can get them. Okay, I'm gonna walk my hands back towards me. We can sit off to the sides of our reformers. We are all finished with that upper body workout. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you all enjoyed it.